Yo, what's up, everyone? Welcome back for the main event. We got James, Mike, and Shay from Darkseid's Couch. It's a comic book podcast that sometimes talks about comic books. We're going to talk about things and maybe some comic books too. Check this out.
Sure.
Yeah, on brand.
Wasn't planning to, but sure.
Ring, 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 ring. Hello?
Yes?
This is Creepy's funeral parlor. Why, your mother died? That's wonderful. Bring her in immediately and we'll begin to drain her blood.
That's not so. At the funeral, they are not draining the blood. The blood's already gone by that
I
point.
know, that's the mortician. The mortician does it.
You don't call up the mortician and tell him someone died. What kind of weird process are you going through? Like, yeah.
I'll begin to harvest your mother's organs.
You were way too hands-on about this then.
I would be good at it. I'm pretty detached from, like, normal human morality.
Yeah, I think you'd play with the bodies
Yeah, but you
too
still
much,
have
though.
to be nice to them.
Yeah.
I don't do that well.
Yeah, you'd futz with the bodies. You'd make them do silly poses and stuff. It's not cool.
It's all on my Insta.
Somebody's
Put a
going to want to
joint in
do
their
something
mouth.
sappy,
Yeah.
and you're just going to say that's fucking dumb.
Yep.
Yeah.
I'll probably use a different word, too.
Why do you want to do that shit, bro? It's stupid.
Like, bro, you're gonna look like a pussy. You're gonna cry in front of people.
Just put them in this Slayer shirt. It's gonna look badass.
Yeah, put grandma in the Pantera shirt, the ones with the real big Confederate flags.
Let's talk about comics somewhat. What's up, everyone? Say hi to John, Mike, and Shay from Darkseid's Couch. How you guys doing?
John?
You mean James?
Sorry.
James, I've been here. Yeah,
I already fucked it
This
up. Let's
interview's
start over.
over.
We're starting over.
There
Over.
was a John. There was an unpleasant John who's long gone.
James!
James.
I know your name is James. Hi.
From now on, you're gonna be known as Unpleasant John.
But by the
Yeah.
way, we are meeting for this interview, aren't we? You guys aren't Twitch natives except for Mike, right?
yeah, I'm
No.
on it pretty much
Yeah.
constantly.
No, I'm a 1,000-year-old mummy man. It terrifies me. So many lights.
Yeah,
and
more or
sounds
less.
and spinning things. Fuck.
So
I felt like trying to explain like Twitch and Discord. You guys was like wrangling cats.
I don't think it's like a secret that Mike refers to you as boomers. Is that the case?
Yeah.
No.
Do you identify with
No, when I was getting set up, I actually said, I need you to come help my boomer brain.
There we
yes.
go.
Yes, I did have to abandon my station.
And
Yeah, I don't know, man.
you've
Go
made
ahead.
it.
I'm just.
You treaded into
We did
Twitch
made it.
territory, and you're here at Civic
Yeah,
TV.
yeah, we're here.
Yeah, I'm a Nufu or a Morgan Grace. Look at me.
Woo!
Morgan
That's right.
Grace.
Callback. That's like, some of the top interviews here on Civic TV.
Nice.
Check them out, everyone. Nufu, Morgan Grace TV. Anyway, so you guys all put together Darkseid's Couch. Like I said,
Yeah.
a comic book
Mhm.
podcast that's sometimes about comic books, right?
Shay does her best to keep us on track.
Yeah.
Usually, but we'll go off on tangents for like 30 minutes.
Well, because Shay always wants to take a nap and get a snack.
I do.
After
live
like
on naps and
45
snacks.
minutes.
That's
And
solid.
I gotta edit. Yeah, I gotta edit out all that fucking around. I gotta edit out all the nudging and poking that we get to wrap it up.
I'm a huge fan of snacks, though. By the way, naps are good too.
Yeah.
but, snacks are king.
No, I've
See?
started encouraging Shay to I'll just like leave snacks in her recording station.
Love it.
Or
We take breaks
Yeah.
now. We never used to. We used to make her
taking
suffer.
breaks. We started taking breaks so we can get the reserves back up.
Shay,
Yeah.
I was going to say this later in the interview, but I think it's appropriate already. I'm impressed at your ability to, sustain a conversation with these two guys on the podcast.
Wow.
No.
I agree. Yeah,
Backhanded
100%.
compliment. Yeah.
But you guys,
No, James, you and I are crazy.
yeah, James, Mike, Shay, you guys all have great banter together.
Oh,
Like-
cool.
How do you all describe your podcast to someone if they've never heard it?
James?
Mike, you probably shill it the most, but yeah. I mean, it's a lot of talk about steroids, Reagan, about dads, and then once in a while we get into old comic books. We'll look at old and pretty much like the 20-year cutoff. We rarely go any more recently than 20 years because people got self-aware and they knew when they were making something shitty, and we like it when they honestly thought that maybe they were doing something good, and it just turned out shitty. So like a lot of
I
old
agree, by the way.
yeah, a lot of old public domain. Well, back in the day, you didn't know if the comics were ever going to get reprinted. You assumed they wouldn't. You assumed that once it's off the shelf, it's gone forever. And so
it's like context.
Yeah,
it's like what was considered, like how something ages. Like if you could go back 20 years, what people thought was funny or what people thought was cool is like cringy now. So you're just like pointing out all, because if you use a new comic, like they're trying to appeal to an audience that exists today. So like we're just making fun of like the attitudes and thoughts of the past.
Yeah, all those grit those grit subscriptions you could get.
Yeah, like weird jobs you give to a kid. They're like, go out there and sell this garbage.
Exactly. Or Kickers Inc., friend of the show.
Yeah, or like weird football comics.
So that was a recent one, right? I listened to that. Yeah, Kickers Inc. And what was the team? There was a football team.
The Smashers.
Yeah,
the New York Smashers with
the
Smashers.
God damn it. Already getting into it.
So if anyone doesn't know, the New York Smashers double as a crime-fighting team, right?
Yeah, I can't imagine anyone doesn't know.
Yeah.
Yes, right.
Yeah. In the 80s, they decided to, Jim Shooter at Marvel decided to launch an imprint called New Universe, where there were no superpowers allowed. Immediately reneged on that, like the first issue of Kickers Incorporated, which is a comic book about a football team, like an NFL, a high-level football team that just has some spare time, so they opened up like a detective agency.
What a
concept.
concept.
And they go around the world like solving crimes.
And so like, by the way, what like a mission statement for like a comic label, right? No superpowers. Okay.
Yep.
Immediately like just
tune in.
Followed by him going, not.
Yeah.
Kids want like discourse.
Because like coach and quarterback Magna Conte was like Captain America, right? Like that was
Deal.
Yeah, he got powers in the first issue. He got superpowers.
And then they thought it was roids.
Issue.
Yeah, well, it is. It is steroids.
That's the secret superpower, right?
There's a scene where
everyone in the NFL has that secret.
Where they talk to the doctor tells Magna Conte, yeah, something's up with your blood. Like, are you juiced on something? He's like, no, I've just been taking this magical formula that was given to me. Like, he's the most naive 65-year-old man I've ever seen.
It's the super soldier serum, right?
Yeah,
that's pretty much all it probably was.
Normally we read the comic books beforehand, but with Kickers Incorporated, the deal is like we read because there's only a limited number of these,
12.
and so we read them out of order, and we don't read it ahead of time. So we're just looking at a screen together and just kind of like make up our own dialogue.
And so
it's pretty accurate.
So do you always read like the print copy of the comic book, or do you ever like download a PDF just to make it easier, or how does that work?
Well, I'm an internet thief, and so I figure out where all this stuff is, and I just. James has like a DC Comics like subscription, so he's like a good boy.
I have there are a couple of good public domain sites from old, like you find these old comics, because a lot of stuff you can't find like even on Comixology or something like that. I will say for Batman Digital Justice though, the CGI Batman comic, I went out and bought that book immediately. I needed that in my hand while we recorded those episodes.
I was hold on. Is it in here? I can maybe find it on the shelf.
Sitting in front of my shelf there. Yeah. Which is, if no one's ever seen Batman Digital Justice, it's from like 1990, and it's a Batman story, completely illustrated over a computer, which was a big thing back in the day, and it's insane. It's atrocious. It's a lot of, like Shay's pulling off the shelf right now.
There's like no textures or shading, like it's like polygons.
No, there is. They just reuse the panels over and over and over. I think the whole deal for doing that, like they wanted to switch over to digital because they figured they could like save money, so they'll just reuse like artwork over and over and over again.
I'll say
that's where it all went though. Like all
they were
comics
right about some of it. Nowadays, as I mentioned in the show, like they sell books, like books that are aimed at professional illustrators that you're just designed to be like. It's just like generic superhero poses or character poses that you're basically intended to just trace and add
over it.
the elements. They do that, and obviously lettering and everything is done, and flatting and all that stuff is done on computers. So they were kind of right. They were just wrong about the ridiculous, horrible polygon abominations. Like nobody does that. But other than that, they kind of nailed it.
Real quick, I have to share from the chat. Hollow Gravy says, "Wait, Santa Hules isn't actually crazy-eyed Jerry Seinfeld." I was wondering about that. So you're not just Jerry Seinfeld bug-eyed? That's not you, really? In your
No,
profile
not
pic?
really.
Okay, just making sure.
He's the Six Flags dancing man.
Yeah, in real life. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah,
With
the
that
older I get,
song.
I'm
That
Yeah.
song.
like as I was getting older, I was turning into Nosferatu, and I decided to make a hard left and just be a whimsical Six Flags Great America Dancing Man.
Right. Good residuals on that. Everyone loves Six Flags.
I love it.
Yeah, I can live with that. It's fine.
Fine.
Yeah.
Everybody's gonna get in a box one way or the other anyway. You're always gonna be in a box.
Right.
Have some control over the box you're gonna be in. And Six Flags old man.
Right. My disformity is a gift.
Yeah, exactly.
So
Riding
if you
all the way to
couldn't
the back.
tell, they like to talk about pop culture ephemera, right? I mean, right?
Yeah, mostly
That's part of it,
Seinfeld,
right?
The Simpsons, and
Yes,
King of the-
absolutely.
Yeah.
and anything Vince McMahon does.
I'm right in there. All those things. Hell yes.
Yeah.
So, like, how do like three seemingly reasonable individuals come together and say to each other, "Let's start a comic book podcast"? What's the origin story of the comic?
I
book?
met-
Well, we three didn't.
Yeah, I met
yeah.
James doing gig work in Chicago.
Yeah,
and
solid.
at the time, I was doing an interview show on my own where I would just bring in like people in the live event industry, and I would just like have them tell like fucked up stories, or I'd make, if they didn't have any, they would have to play along with whatever goofy thing I wanted to do. So I would just have these people in this fish out of water situation, and then I would have James on because we just hit it off at work and became good friends. So he would be a guest repeatedly, and to the point where we were just like, we should just do a show together about comics, since mostly all we ever talked about was comics anyway. And and then I met Shay through James, and she was she was hanging out at James's house, and we were going to record, and I think I spoke to you, Shay, for like maybe 2 minutes, and I was like, we should just have her on the show, because Shay's like a real comedian, like a real one. So I was like, oh shit, we should utilize that.
Yeah.
And it worked out great. That was like a bit of a risk, but I was like, screw it, let's do it.
Well, Shay
And,
has a little bit of a radio background. I have a radio background. So, there's actually a little broadcasting experience there. Mike is just coming in hot.
You got the voice.
I just kind of just go for
Yeah.
it.
James, you got the voice. Let me tell you.
Thank
No,
you.
yeah.
I did not at first. I had to be chastised quite a bit working radio. The vets had to give me a lot of shit because it was
fair
just
enough. Yeah.
And
This
now
is
it's
not James's
garbage.
real voice. This is like some Gilbert Gottfried
No,
stuff.
No, not
You got
doing that.
chastised for it, and now it's a sexual fetish.
Well, now I rub it in their faces. Now I go back there to rub it in their faces periodically.
And
Speak better. Yes, Daddy.
so 213 episodes later, right? Didn't you just put out episode 213? Is that right? Is that an accurate
that's
count? Is that
214 is probably Monday, yeah?
214 I just finished. That'll be up on Monday, but there's also a couple there's a couple that we didn't release. There's a couple that we've
Okay.
lost.
some
There's
more?
one that there's one we put in the vault because Mike was so upset with it that it just never got released.
I just got
Which
back
was-
from the Super Bowl. Like, I was working the Super Bowl, and I was like super fucked up and in a terrible mood. And then I was like,
Oh.
yeah, let's record. And I totally like just bombed it. And then like I tucked my tail between my legs and asked these guys if we could just do it again. And they were nice enough to indulge me.
It was our 200th episode too.
Yeah,
Jeez.
so that was it. It was our
Trying to make a
200th
big deal about
episode.
it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And Mike burned down the world in it.
I did.
remember, I guess the breaking point was when Shay on the recording asked Mike, "Do you even want to be here? Do you even want to do this?"
I was like,
Oh,
oh,
like,
shit.
okay.
I was like, I gotta change my attitude.
Yeah,
But then the redo was like way better. So like,
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, yeah, no, the redo came out great.
So
Right, and it's a mature thing to come back and say, my B.
Yeah, a lot of growth.
it survived
well, part of not-
episode 200. That's the important
Yeah.
part, right?
Yeah.
No, yeah.
Exactly.
part of the benefit of not giving a fuck about anything is like I have no problem like
Yeah,
throwing
you
my
also-
pride away.
You realize is when you do that, like other people inherit that. It's like when people always say, like, you have that boomer attitude of like things used to be great. Yeah, for you. Everyone else had to go behind you and clean up your shit.
Accurate.
Like it was for a very specific niche of people. It was the good old days. Everybody else was just shit wall to wall.
It's the
I
high
have good-
water
I have
mark,
good friends.
right? It's like, yeah. Anyway, I have a clip here that is
Sure.
about comics, and I swear none of the other clips I have are talking about comics. But let's
Yeah, usually the clips are not about comics. Yeah.
right.
Anyway.
But let's hear a little bit. Let's check it out. This is Darkseid's couch.
Yeah, and he doesn't have his like his gymnasium full of his rings so he can like swing around.
You know, Beast
bored.
required a lot of space
like more than anybody else probably in the mansion.
I bet.
He
And
needed
bigger
a gym.
toilets.
He needed industrial strength toilets. He's a mess of a man.
He's got like Costco like shampoo being delivered.
Just pallets of it.
Yeah,
He's
it's
got his
definitely
own
a
dock.
3-in-1.
Yes.
You think he's like shaving his butthole so he doesn't get like poop matted? in
This
his
is what I'm
butt?
saying. He's covered in just disgusting things.
Right. Well, I mean, we have to think of how an animal deals with it.
Yeah, they lick it up.
In James's cat's
demo,
perspective, James cleans it.
Yeah, I'm not gonna make him. I'm not gonna debase
So maybe
him.
Beast just has a James who just cleans his butt for him.
I just get in the corner and I lick up his hindquarters.
Oh, God, James, we weren't going there.
I think we were.
Nice, dude. Way to save toilet paper for the environment.
Yeah, seriously, I'm the human bidet.
That's what needs to be done. The people,
Jesus Christ.
these fucking pet owners just don't seem to care about the planet.
Don't ever refer to yourself as the human bidet again.
I guarantee that's a fetish.
That's one of the new X-Men
Yeah,
that Professor
exactly.
Xavier is going to recruit for the next mission here.
He's running out of mutants. He's going with the human bidet. It's all
The
that's
human
left.
bidet now. He really is just a dude licking cats' asses.
Okay, so yes, let's unpack that clip a little bit.
Uh, That was one of the rare opportunities where James was grosser than me.
So the bidet
Yeah,
talk,
please.
right? That's right at home
Yeah.
here on Twitch. I don't know what it is. There's a weird obsession with bidet talk on Twitch streams.
Mm-hmm.
And so my question is, when are you guys going to bring Darkseid's couch to Twitch? When's that going to
Oh,
happen?
we've been talking about it.
Yeah, we've definitely talked about it.
It's
we
a whole
brought up
different animal, right?
possibly.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, that's one, and two, it's getting us all together visually at the same time. And somebody didn't have a fucking camera until like 2 weeks ago.
All right. Yeah.
That guy.
Yeah. So about 2 weeks ago, Mike finally bought a camera.
Yeah, crazy-eyed Jerry over there.
And a couple months before that, he finally bought a microphone that wasn't $12 and indulged in a mic stand, which he thought was too bougie.
Yeah.
For the first 200.
It was-
Still feel that way.
So I know Mike from the chat, everyone.
Yeah.
And I hear he doesn't like rich people. So do you guys
No.
have to deal with that attitude
that's a
a lot? Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I get it.
Yeah.
I've
Yeah.
always said,
I didn't grow up in abject poverty, and so Mike thinks I'm rich.
There
Yeah,
you go.
you're a rich person for sure.
yeah, but Mike is the biggest closet capitalist I know.
I've been accused of that by
you
my bosses
love
before.
money so much.
I've been accused of that. Like I had a boss call me a predatory capitalist when I tricked him into giving me more money.
When he raised his rent, yes.
Really going to be a slumlord at some point in his life.
I
Right?
actually, someone told me that they wanted to be a landlord. Like they wanted to get out of the industry I'm in, and they were like, I think I'm just going to buy a bunch of property and I'm going to be a landlord. And I was trying to talk them out of it because I was like, yeah, you're going to be executed with the rest of the landlords. Look what happened in
Yeah.
China. They're
Fair.
going to
But
get
then
you.
we switched to trying to convince James to buy a 3-flat so that we can all live together.
Yeah,
with our
we're
own
gonna be in
separate
town.
floor.
I have legitimately considered this. Honestly, the only reason is the only reason I'm against it is because I really don't want to share walls with you guys.
Yeah,
Like I'm
for sure.
a little concerned.
No, you're not going to share walls. You're going to share floors.
Floors.
I get
you
the
don't gotta
top
be
floor.
pedantic about it. You get to
Yeah.
you don't get to decide
Yeah,
what
I get the
in
top
the
floor.
3-flat I purchased. You don't get to
Yeah,
decide
no,
what
Mike,
unit
you don't get the
get.
top floor. He gets the top floor.
No, what if the roof leaks? Then you won't have to deal with it, and I can let you know.
Yeah, you can let me know 18 months after it happens, like you did at your
Oh
old place.
no, I'm really brutal on my landlords. Like when
We-
anything's wrong at all, I'm burning down their homes.
You had
It's fair
a fuse box in your shower.
That was my
Yeah,
old
fuse box in the
place.
shower.
All right, I've upgraded. There's my old place used to have a fuse box next to the shower.
Your experience in the event industry told you, right, that might be a little dangerous, right? That's what it
Yeah,
was.
I lived there for like
Yeah.
10 years.
You did.
My rent was
recorded, like, the first-
$700 for 2 bedrooms in a view of downtown. Like what the heck? I'm
It's
not moving.
2 bedrooms, but yeah, it's 2 bed. Like
Listen to this bougie motherfucker.
no,
Don't
because
listen to
you're
him.
no, you got
don't know.
psychologically manipulated. They called it 2
bougie.
bedrooms. It just means they put up some partitions. But the rooms are all over. I can turn a place into a 10-bedroom mansion if you want. Like if you partition it off enough.
Hey,
We
new,
recorded the first yeah. Go ahead.
new Future Fantasies here in the chat, and he's a fan of lynching the landlord. Right, Nufu?
Good.
Yeah.
Very base Nufu. Good
Yeah,
job.
Absolutely. It's good
I'm
people
sending
here.
this to Mike's
Yeah.
landlord.
Yeah.
I'm sending
Yeah,
this
right?
to Mike's
Right.
landlord.
Yeah.
This
That's
is
right, this is
actually
my
going to be
people,
used
right?
in
This is
court at some point.
Yeah. I'm playing both sides.
Right.
I'm gonna come out on the positive side of this apocalypse. Absolutely.
And you'll
Yeah, right. You're
like,
gonna be in the space arc with the rest of the rich people.
Oh yeah,
Space
yeah.
Arc's gonna happen. Space Arc is definitely gonna happen. Bezos is working on it, and we're all like feeding
Yeah.
into that, right? Like
James
here on
and
Twitch.
Bezos
Yeah.
are best friends.
What about me and Jeff Bezos? We're gonna be
Another
buddies?
guy I probably get accused of looking like.
You don't wear nearly enough Ed Hardy.
Oh,
I can though.
yeah. So
Nothing's stopping me.
the world's fucking weird, right? I mean, it's kind of like we're living in the worst possible timeline sometimes.
I don't know.
Sort of.
I think like being a caveman would suck.
Yeah, that would suck. That would really suck. And so
You'd have a lot
Black
more
Plague
purpose.
might have been worse, but in terms of our choices, yeah.
and that's actually what I'm getting to is at least we have podcasts and live streams, right? I mean, this
Yeah.
is my happy place, right?
I live a life more luxurious than the finest Egyptian pharaohs of the past. Like, how am I
Allegedly.
going to sit here and complain? Yeah, the pharaohs were probably not real. That was probably a psyop. But if they did exist, like I can't complain. Like people out there can certainly complain. I can't. I have to shut the hell up with my.
I have to say,
privilege.
like today's like way we consume entertainment is like like a dream for people with ADD, like myself. Like it's like I'm
Or
very
the
happy
cause
with.
of the like.
Yeah, I did grow up near a factory.
This heroin is really helping my addiction to heroin. I'm really glad the heroin came around.
And so
You heard him
on the podcast, right? You talk about some hard-hitting topics like this, right? Let's get a civics lesson
got one?
from Darkseid's couch. Here's a clip.
I could have sworn for about 4 years there, everything seemed pretty pro-Russia for a while.
Well, no, it's because no.
It's 4 weird years.
I mean,
don't know what
no
was happening.
government's good.
The Finnish government's good. They're the least corrupt government in the world.
That can't be true.
Well, that's how they're.
Let's look that
they're the
up.
most corrupt government, and they're the best at hiding it.
Look up least corrupt government.
Denmark, New Zealand, Finland, Singapore, and Sweden are perceived as being the least corrupt nations in the world.
All right, there we go. The places
There
to
you go. Those are good
move.
places. Yeah, good places to
Singapore.
go.
Dang.
Singapore was surprising. Wasn't that where they had the caning?
Yeah, that's all I know about Singapore.
I guess it
That's
worked.
It's
They
just
kept
that-
people in line, including the government. They're subjected to caning as well if they fuck up.
Yeah, dang, bro. They whipped the shit out of that boy's ass.
If you've got the threat of caning hanging over you, you're gonna act right.
I mean, I'd probably behave a little bit better if I knew they could just cane me.
Everyone in Singapore's mama raised them right. It's just a nation of sassy moms.
Yeah. The
Threatening to
Singapore
spank
moms
you.
are just spanking their kids. It's just it's just like part of their culture. Just beating
I
their
know
kids.
you didn't skip school today.
Yes, man, they ain't skipping school.
No.
Yes. So Singapore. For some reason, I associate that incident, like when it came into the popular American mindset, with Mad Magazine at the time. I just remember the doodle of a kid getting his ass caned from Mad Magazine after that all came out. Oh,
Moment in their history.
all bad. I had you muted. We didn't miss Mitch. We didn't miss anything.
No,
But
it
yeah,
didn't
so-
matter. It didn't matter. It didn't
None of
matter.
this matters. But
No.
So man, the comedy comes naturally on the podcast. I really enjoy it, and I'm wondering how much is prepared ahead of time. Do you really just sit down and just
James
blast it all?
James prepares a lot. He actually does a lot of pre-show work.
Okay.
Yeah,
And
and
I-
post show. Like
Yeah,
I
yeah,
will
yeah.
fully throw out that James carries the show.
Oh no, I do
Yeah,
a lot of
I-
pre-show work, and then I throw it away as soon as Mike derails like all of it. Like
I do.
half of my notes do
I
not
do
get
write down
used.
bits and jokes, and I use almost none of them.
There you
yeah,
go.
yeah.
And I mostly just do whatever.
It's just a lubricant. It's just to get things going, just to reduce friction. That's all.
And so
James is like a comedy writer. Shay and I are like improv people.
Shay.
Shay is actually a trained improv performer.
I was just gonna ask. There was mention about you being a comedian, and so you have improv comedy experience. Is that right?
I have improv experience. I have sketch experience.
Neat.
Yeah, and I did theater, I like, typical theater nerd, drama club nerd kind of shit. And then I got in college and kept dicking around.
And so you have like been like in front of people performing. So that's
Oh yeah,
yeah.
absolutely.
That's
Yeah,
different
yeah.
for me.
No, that's
I was in video production before the twitching, and I'm just not used to that live audience aspect. But what do you guys think about a Darkseid's Couch live? Would you do that?
Yes. That's
Yeah?
what I would like to. Yeah,
If
yeah.
we could get the turnout,
Oh,
I
yeah.
would. Yeah, I would love to do that.
Yeah,
like-
as soon as
Absolutely.
there's enough interest, yeah, we'll rent out a bar or something and we'll just do it.
Hell yeah! There you go. That's awesome.
That'd be a good excuse for another kickers. I
Yeah.
don't prepare anything, but yeah, we're gonna get through
Yeah.
all them kickers.
I do best when I don't prepare. Like just go with it. Like that's when
Yeah.
it's the easiest for me.
No, that makes sense. I'm not. I like a controlled environment.
I didn't prepare anything for this,
Don't
by
get
the
it.
way. No, I'm
Oh, yeah.
joking. I do prepare.
I can see the stuff you did on this stream. Like man, like
Yeah.
Read
yeah,
the comic.
you did a lot.
Yeah,
Hell yeah! Thank
appreciate
you.
that.
I was looking for those compliments. No, I'm just joking. Thank
Oh,
you.
that's great. No, it's
I
cool. It's
appreciate
it.
fun.
And this is going to be the new thing. Every interview gets their own theme. How about it?
Yeah, I saw the
Yeah.
one last week. That was really cool.
Awesome. I appreciate that. Yeah. You're going in the archive. All of you are going to be part of history now. The CIVIC TV history. Of,
Finally.
Yeah, we matter.
Exhibit B. Yep.
we've
absolutely.
Yeah.
Yes.
We can quit now.
Sending it
That's
to my mom. Tell me
And-
I don't do shit.
Your
My
hot
parents
mom.
have no idea that I've been doing this for like 5 years.
Don't call my mom
That's
hot.
Yeah,
So
your parents. Yeah.
I could see
Mike, your parents
like,
seriously not know?
sharing it, honestly, with parents. No.
No,
Well,
my parents have no idea what I ever get up to in my life ever.
What
Okay,
little bit of
solid.
family I'm still connected to, they don't even know I'm into comic books.
Oh,
Like
wow.
Yeah.
it's a whole separate persona that the switch flips.
My dad got me into comic books when I was a little kid. He'd buy me like Spider-Man
shut
comics
you up,
and
yeah.
like the original
ahead.
like black and white Ninja Turtle comics before the cartoon came
Oh,
out.
we had
Yeah.
those too.
It's
Yes.
the good.
Yeah.
Yes.
Great.
Hell yeah.
No, my little brother is one of our biggest fans.
Awesome.
And
Nepotism.
every once in a while he sends me a text of like, why did you say that?
He's learning about the world. He's learning
Yep.
about the harsh
Now he
realities of the
knows.
world.
Really is, but he shouldn't be learning about it from me.
Keeping you
Oh, was
accountable.
the
Yeah.
best person to learn it from. I love one.
He's 20 years old, 21
No.
years old. He's
He's 21.
a grown man.
Little
He's a
brother.
grown man.
Little bro.
Dude, I remember what I was doing when I was 20. Like, Jesus.
No, you don't. I bet you don't. I
I
guarantee
mean,
you
I
don't.
get
get
flashes
fractions.
of memories.
Yeah, little recovered
Yeah.
memories. Yeah.
Yeah, fair enough. I was in college at 20 and that was a mess. Yep. No good.
Mhm.
So yeah, stepping back a little bit about the Darkseid's Couch, the name Darkseid's Couch, right?
Mm.
I had like
We should have picked something else.
I had a
in
passing
retrospect.
awareness of it. And why don't you guys explain it? The Darkseid's Couch reference.
Well, I do.
Angry John?
Yeah, Angry John, tell us.
I'm sorry. I'm probably coming off too antagonistic. I'm sorry. I'm just trying to. People like a little bit of that. I think people like a little mustard. But no. Yeah, we did make the mistake of using an IP that we did not own and no one could spell correctly. Those were
Yep.
the two major problems, and so there might be a reason to change that eventually. But yeah, that goes back to a trope from comic book character Darkseid, who is basically the DC equivalent of Thanos or the inspiration of Thanos, as I would say. And Darkseid is an otherworldly creature, basically a god of evil. But for some reason, when he wants to intimidate humans, he'll just be hanging out on their furniture. And there's a whole thing, you can look it up, of like Darkseid on the couch. And when people will come home, some dude will come home into his shitty apartment, and there's Darkseid just like reading his books on his couch. And I just thought it's creepy and it's unnerving, but it's also hysterical. And I thought that was a great way to go.
It's like
Yeah, we
that-
thought it was a great idea in retrospect, but now it's like maybe we should have just
Yeah.
said read comics good. I wanted to call it read comics good.
I don't know this at all, but yeah, I don't know if we should do that, if we should just go ahead and pull the trigger and redo it, or if we're going to alienate the people that are already watching. They're going to be mad about it, because you change anything and then people start thinking that like there's a nefarious thing afoot.
Want to change
So-
your name?
I might
Yeah, I think we should wait till we're sued.
I might
Yeah.
second that, James, because of like the whole have two channels now. One is 83, one is 85. People lose their minds. They don't know what to think. And all I did was change the number a little bit. And it's like,
nerds. Just be okay. Be okay with it. Let some surprise into your life. The world is way better if you let yourself be surprised once in a while. God.
There you go. Yeah. And so the spelling, I could see that, like first
Yeah, the
read.
spelling is a problem.
Yeah. Like not knowing.
I
read Darkseid,
I have people-
honestly.
I have people who've
Oh,
been
yeah.
listening for years and they still call it Darkseid's Couch.
Yeah.
And they've been listening for a long
That's a
time.
problem.
I get it. But
Hey, if they keep calling it Darkseid's Couch, then they can't sue us for being Darkseid's Couch.
Right,
Ah.
right,
there we go.
right. Yeah, that's a work. That's a long con, sure.
We'll like pronounce it differently when the cease and desist shows up.
Oh, we'll just change the I to an E.
I'm gonna
There we go.
gaslight Warner Brothers and tell them that we always pronounced it Darkseid.
Yeah,
Yeah.
let's do it.
Insist.
There's
do
no
it.
proof. There's no
I'm
213 episodes of
Nope.
proof.
gonna gaslight an entire corporation.
Again, going back to the inevitable court case that's going to come up at some point in your future.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, so where would we be without memes and tropes? I don't know what the hell I would do with my life. Like,
Yeah.
like life is lived through the history of memes at this point. And
Yeah.
we got a clip about it, actually. Meme history. Let's check it out.
You're not talking about the actual time they blew up the whale, because that was actually dynamite when they blew up that whale.
Excellent.
That was one of my first internet things, is the exploding
Same.
whale. Yeah. Insane. These people, a whale beached up, and they couldn't figure out what to do with it, how to move it, so they decided to blow it up, but they didn't consider the fact that they're going to blow it up, and just whale parts are going to go everywhere.
Yeah, I bet you one guy did realize that and
like, I'm
didn't
not
say
saying shit.
anything.
I'm not
I wouldn't
saying
say anything.
shit.
I would spin around like singing in the rain, but but with whale blood.
They
Well, that's the thing, Mike. It wasn't just whale blood. It was also whale skin and muscle and
Fantastic.
guts.
You're not getting that out of your car.
Fantastic. I don't want it to. I want to ruin people's days and
Drive
lives.
around on the car. No, there is the video of it when they blow it up. Everybody cheers like it's the 4th of July, and then a couple seconds later, everybody's going, "Oh shit! There's whale parts landing on my car." Like, God, you guys didn't figure this out?
Oh man.
God damn it! All right,
One guy, it's probably the dynamite guy. Is like no, because he's a dynamite.
he's a dynamiter. He
dude.
knows.
So
Yeah.
he's just like hearing their plan. He's just like, all right.
Did they think it would implode?
I bet he like went really far away,
Yeah.
with the thing, and then once it blew up, he just got in his van and drove off.
Why are you wearing that hazmat suit? No reason.
Like, hold on, guys, I got to put this tarp over my van.
This tarp
They're like,
I brought from
why?
the Gallagher concert.
Like, it's dynamite safety. They're like, oh, dynamite safety. Got it.
Very good. Very good.
Yes, I remember that one as well, by the way.
All right.
It's a
And
We
great.
got a listener. All right.
Well,
So
he's talking about the meme.
Yes.
Not the show.
Oh.
He's talking about the meme. We all remember the meme.
yes, and I am a recent listener. I didn't go all the way back through the 214 episodes to do this interview, but
okay.
yes. And
We've
so
been super consistent, haven't we?
no, seriously, that's impressive.
Dang.
And Good Gamers Go asks any tips for people who want to do podcasts.
Don't,
Wow.
I guess, because no one's listening.
No.
I guess.
Jesus.
Yeah, you're
Be
not
Joe
gonna-
Rogan.
Yeah,
Well,
yeah.
Get a
No,
deal
Just do it.
with
Yeah.
Spotify.
Yeah.
No.
Have famous friends.
Do something really cool first, and then people will like come and check out what you do. Don't reverse
Mhm.
it.
At least have an idea. Like I hate. There's so many podcasts, and they try to sell it. It's just like, no, it's just me and my bros hanging out. All right, yeah. I don't care. I do not care.
That
Like,
sucks.
it's fine if that's actually what it ends up being, but you at least need to ostensibly tell me it's going to be about something, even if you left turn right out of it and you don't actually talk about it, which we
Yeah.
do for a good 90% of the podcast. But at least give me some sort of framework to work with. Give me some sort of idea that it supposedly is going to be about. That's a big thing for me. Other than that, just do it. Just do it. You're going to screw it up. You're going to screw it up for like 50 straight episodes.
Oops.
Yeah, like we did.
You got to get them out of the system. You got to get them out of your system. You got to empty your bladder of all the bad episodes. Yep.
You also, if you don't enjoy it when you're recording the episode, it's not going to be a good episode.
Yeah. I get that.
Do something that you genuinely enjoy. Do it about throw yourself into something that you just genuinely brings you joy to talk about. I sound so fucking lame and basic. I apologize.
No, it's about the
I might as well just pull out my pumpkin spice latte already. Jesus.
The end product's just like the artifact of the experience, right? It's the experience that matters. If you don't enjoy
it's the journey.
Yeah.
The real podcasts are the friends we make along the way.
There you go.
If you're gonna do if you're not gonna have a theme or like a plan or anything, you're just riffing with your friends, like be really funny already.
It'd be real fucking good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, don't be too high.
And
I make that mistake a lot.
Yes, please. No. And Good Gamers Go says I want to tell people's paranormal stories. That's really cool.
Sure. Yeah.
Hell yeah.
That is cool.
And
I'll be a guest. You can have me on. How about that?
He's gonna make up some shit.
Mike, you're just pale. You're not a ghost.
I've got one, but that's a whole nother story. And so there's a podcast, Snap Judgment, that has a spin-off podcast, and I forget the exact name of it, but the Snap Judgment spin-off is all about people's paranormal stories. I really recommend it. Go check it out. But check out Darkseid's couch. Yes. No,
do that first and always.
Yeah, just let it play in the background.
There you go.
Yeah, we got to get Shay out of her job. We need to make enough money so that Shay. I always knew like what Shay did, but then like the other day we were just like testing my my webcam, and Shay jumped in from work, and I saw where she sat at work, and I was like, "Fuck, we gotta get Shay like out of this." So we need to start making. My attitude was always like, as long as like people think we're funny and like we get like gross fan art, I'm happy. And James like, no, we need to make money. I'm like, no, we don't. Let's just like be communist about everything.
No, we need to make money.
I'm paraphrasing, but yeah, but now that I see what Shay has to put up with every day at work, I'm like, no. All right, let's set up that Patreon and start making some money. Fuck this.
I know Shay well enough to know that Shay is so worried that Mike is gonna like give the street address of where she works right now.
I'm like sitting here on the edge of my seat, like, God, does he know the name of where I work? Does he know the name?
Intentionally do not tell Mike certain bits of information because I don't want him getting out.
Yeah, because like me personally, I don't care what anybody knows about my life at all. Like I'm not like, so I have to remember that other people actually do care about consequences.
Yeah, I think I've learned that from the show.
Your job is also the world. As opposed to
like James and I have cool jobs that we enjoy going to. Like I can't remember what it was like to have a straight like real job, and I remember that's horrible.
Like a boss man, yeah.
You gotta go to the same place every day and do the same thing. I'd die.
Got the suspenders on, and he's slapping suspenders, and he's got the cigar and everything. He's blowing in your face. Yeah,
that guy's blowing cigar smoke in your face, Shay. We gotta get you out of there.
Every morning he comes in and blows that cigar smoke in your face, and you take it.
I'm going to flip it back real fast to originally when we were talking about memes, because I got a message that apparently my mom is watching. Hi, Mom. Mom. And I want to show that I'm wearing the shirt she gave me, which says, "Good morning to everyone except that bitch Carol Baskins."
There you go.
Wow. I've never seen that show.
Very,
that, like,
very
terrible?
2020.
So she had no idea. A company sent it to her on accident. She had no idea what it was, and she just kind of went, "Do you want this?"
Wow.
Yes, like the only thing I know about that show is from memes. Like I'll never financially recover from this. Like that meme template. That's it.
Oh, it wasn't just a series of memes?
Yeah, I thought at first it was just a series of memes. I didn't know it was a show, and I guess it was like a big deal.
Speaking of memes, James thought one was a real thing recently.
I saw the one that's been going around of like Andy Samberg from Brooklyn Nine-Nine, where he's in his ska outfit, and he's saying, "I will never ska defines me as a person. I will never abandon ska." And I thought it was a real screen cap from like some like ska festival in Iowa or something like that. And I was so high on it. I was so excited about it. And then I just found it's fucking Andy Samberg in a TV show. Like,
You're not a ska guy, are you, James? You don't like. Have I should have been making fun of you about this entire time?
No, I'm not a ska guy. However, I'll say literally today, I was amusing myself quite a bit here in Chicago because I was driving home and I saw not one but two sanitation workers with the orange vests and everything, and they're walking down the street and they're picking stuff up, and it was either the same guy I saw at two ends of the day, I don't know, or two different guys, and they were both wearing black and white checked shorts.
Brilliant.
They were like ska, and they were literally picking up trash. And I amused myself for like 5 straight minutes in my car, and no one was around to enjoy it.
I enjoyed it now.
I'm glad you brought it back then.
What's up, Billy Galaxy Art? Thanks for coming in. How you guys doing? And we got a raid. Woo! And so
All right.
James, you wrote a book. Is that right? Did you actually?
Yeah.
You wrote
things.
a whole thing? Yeah, you
I've
wrote
wrote
it.
Funny.
a lot of things. I just haven't put most of them out. It was you guys remember the pandemic? You remember that?
I remember that.
Yeah.
It was a global
Best time of
pandemic.
my entire
It was
life.
crazy. Yeah.
Somewhat
I woke
familiar.
up one morning. Yeah. You have a passing familiarity with it. I woke up one morning with a lot of time on my hands and said, like, all right, I everybody's making introspective, existential pieces of artwork about the pandemic experience, and I decided I'm going to write a book about Shaq's musical discography, an
is
academic thesis.
Shaquille O'Neal, everyone.
Shaquille O'Neal. Yeah. So I wrote a book. It's about 140 pages. It's an ebook on Amazon, Shaq Track Attack, and I'll see some money if you actually go buy it. I'll actually see that. I'll feel it. in my
Shaq
wallet.
Track Attack, a critical analysis and ranking of Shaquille O'Neal's discography for some reason.
For some reason, that's
That's
the
right.
title. Because
That's-
I realize that the internet loves ranking things, even if it's completely arbitrary and it's bordering on meaningless. So I thought that might be a good SEO thing. It was not. Nobody
There
saw
you
it.
go.
I'm thinking about another way to kind of get it out there, maybe in a video form or something like that, because I do like it. I do think it was fun, and it came together pretty well. But it's Darkseid's Couch E. It's
The-
silly.
The only Shaq song I remember is like "What's Up, Doc? Can We Rock?" However that one went.
Yeah, which is fucking great. That's with
Yes.
Fushnikins,
Yeah,
which is a short-lived
Fushnikins.
hip hop group, and they were fucking great. Those
They-
guys were great. That was a Fushnikins song where they asked this young basketball player Shaquille O'Neal, "Hey, why don't you come on and do a verse?" And he came on and did a verse, and they said, "Well, I guess I'll just launch this into an entire career," and he
Yes.
did for over 100 songs.
Who remembers
Good for him.
Fushnikins? I remember Fushnikins. They had some
Oh,
songs.
badass.
Yeah.
They were
It's like
banging. They were banging.
a bit like DOS
Shaq's
effects.
living his
like,
best
yeah.
life.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Fucking
Yeah.
A.
That guy made
So-
it work for himself. He took a glandular disorder that made him huge and freakish. And
Freakish. Absolutely.
look at him. He like rules the whole world now with his talent.
Because he's the tallest, so he gets the rule. That's
Yeah.
the way
Yep.
it works.
It
We're
is.
ranked by height. Absolutely.
Yeah.
There's a lot of
is
giants
what
in
it is.
entertainment, right? Like if you're a
Yeah.
giant, you better get like entertaining, I guess. No.
Well, there's a statistic. I wish I could remember the numbers
Or
of it, but it's something-
strong.
if you're
There you
over
go.
like statistically, if you're over like was it 6'5" or 6'6", there's like a 40% chance you're in the NBA. Like that's how few people are in there, and that's how coveted that is within the NBA.
Dang, okay.
I think it was like the majority of CEOs are over 6 feet
Oh
tall.
man, I dated some
Majority.
guy in that 60% that didn't. That sucks.
Oh yeah, what a loser. He's already got the deck stacked in his favor, and he couldn't close the deal.
Just how are
That's
you
why I
not
like,
in the NBA right now?
Yeah, seriously, just do it.
That's why I like Howard the Duck, because the lesson is like to the short kings out there that as long as you got personality and charm, it will take you super far.
You can
Now,
you can
look-
get the ladies, you can kill the monsters. Right?
You can go to a whole different planet and get the
Right.
hottest girl there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
With charm and personality. You
So-
got it, short kings.
Howard is a duck, and we assume he has the same biology as Earth ducks. We're just gonna more or less.
Yep.
So he has one hole. He has a cloaca. He has a
Oh,
single hole,
yes.
and it's all coming out. So that's probably a very common fetish within the duck world. People is to just unload everything out the one hole all at once.
Yep.
Like just everything you got. Just
Yep.
Don't
squeeze
they
the
have
toothpaste
corkscrew
out.
penises?
Yes, they
They
do.
do.
They're
They do.
monsters.
We call
They're
that
horrific.
one hole theory, by the way. No, yes.
That's why on this planet we wiped them all out in the Stone Age to stop them from propagating.
That's right.
Mhm.
That's right.
I also noticed that Howard the Duck had. I'm sorry, I'll
Oh.
make this less stupid point, and I'll shut the fuck up. Howard the Duck, he himself has a cutout in his pants so his tail can come out. But when we see in the beginning of the movie, where he's watching people on TV, and there's like some football players, they do not have cutouts. Like their tails are held in shame. So like the most duck people on the duck planet, they like you're not supposed to see the tail, and Howard the Duck is the one person flagrantly just walking around with his privates out like that.
He's flaunting it, right? He's like,
Yeah.
check out this tail, baby.
You'd think
yeah.
they'd come up with a sport that would like showcase what they can do, because like a duck running back ain't doing nothing.
Why would they come? Yeah, why would they come up with the same sports we came up with?
Right, he's not running. The
Yeah,
ducks aren't
seriously,
running.
stupid. Dumb.
Because they were made in
God.
God's image as well.
One of the big problems that Howard had in the movie was that whenever times anyone ran from him or he had to like go after somebody, he couldn't do it.
I would dominate that league.
That's right. I want to go to the Duck Planet and be the best NFL football player they have.
Hell yeah,
You guys are assholes. You're just gonna kick them.
Mike's gonna be the Magna Conte of the Duck Planet.
That's right.
Like, do the reverse of Howard the Duck and make that a movie.
Yeah.
Like, what?
Yeah.
Howard the Duck 2 is going to be me in the Duck world just crushing it in the NFL.
The Shack of the Duck world.
Yeah, and I'm going to come up with albums.
Fucking
and
losers.
Duck James is going to write a book about it.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, so does pop culture ever just make you feel old? Like you remember back
Yeah.
with
Yeah.
Howard the
Well, we
Duck?
are.
Yeah.
Yeah,
You were playing
I
that
know.
clip, and I was thinking, like, is Gallagher too boomer of a reference for like?
Not for
Yeah,
me,
that's happened.
but
Oh
Yeah, but
Big
like,
fan?
yeah.
Yeah,
I don't know. We did it anyway, though.
in the drinking days, I used to go to a bar where they had Gallagher. No, you said Gallagher. Sorry, Gallagher. My bad.
Yeah,
Gallagher.
Galaga is the video game based on Gallagher.
There you go.
Yeah,
Yep.
he's
There you
also the
go.
creator of it.
Yeah,
he
he
wrote the
created it.
code.
You just
It's
smashed
like-
the shit out of watermelons.
There we go.
Mhm.
Yes, but Gallagher, amazing. By the way, his stand-up routine was fantastic. Like it wasn't just all about the watermelons. It was like his
No.
jokes were on point, and there were
I
watermelons.
grew up watching
right?
those specials.
Yeah,
I,
me
I
too.
Yeah, I
fucking
watched
funny.
7 of those specials.
Yeah.
So
Back
good.
in the Comedy Central days.
yes.
And then his twin brother took over
Did
and
he?
did the same act.
What a great work!
Yeah.
Gallagher
There's two
too.
Gallaghers. There's two.
I didn't know
Gallagher
that.
too.
God,
Yeah.
But he like franchised it out to his brother.
Yeah, he did.
the
Yeah,
world
he
is a
did.
twisted place, and
Yeah.
but
It is.
if you're like me, I get confused about pop culture sometime. I'm an old man. Let's check out this clip in reference to this. Let's watch this.
You see that Steven Tyler went into rehab? That
Yeah.
dude's like 70. Like, you don't go into
Yeah.
rehab when you're 70. You just die.
Did you go
No,
to
absolutely you do. Because if you fuck up something and you get put on painkillers.
No, you just
Sweet.
die.
Take
You
pain.
just
You're
die.
70. Time to get addicted to painkillers.
Yeah, that's true. Maybe at that point you just
So
go
weird.
fuck it.
You're 70. Yeah, dude. It's time to start doing all the drugs. Fuck it.
Yeah, you're on a collision course now. Like, who cares?
Yeah, what's what you do when you're 70?
Yeah, you're gonna keep on.
You run, well,
rocking?
I guess you run for president.
Yeah.
Remember, God, I was looking at that. Like, I think was Reagan like 73 or something, and people were concerned about his age when he became president. Now we're
Yeah.
electing 80-year-olds and just said it's
Yeah.
fine.
No, it's
Yeah.
not. It's stupid.
But they're not aging like The Rock. They're aging like actual 80-year-olds.
Yeah.
Yeah, Joe Biden is a very,
Yeah, all that
very old
shit about
man.
the children being the future was bullshit.
Yeah.
Like hearing Joe Biden talk, it sounds like it's like talking to a grandfather who is too old, and you're just like, yeah, that's nice, Grandpa.
Yeah, you got to be nice to him. You got to be nice to him because he's gonna live for like 17 more seconds. Like, you have to be
can't-
nice.
Yeah, but he's the president.
Yeah, he's in charge of everything.
Imagine you're like a serf, right? And your king is like 98 years old. Like this guy.
I mean, that happened.
And you're like,
That's
wait,
England, dude.
yeah. Imagine that you're like, your job is to grow turnips. You know, and,
I'm just the
and-
turnip guy, man.
Yeah, and every once in a
got my
while, a
little
guy in a suit of armor comes by and beats you up to collect taxes.
Thank you, sir. Thank you.
Bloody peasants!
Yes, I love the art on that clip. By the way. So,
Yes.
All right. Hey, I made that.
You did the
Yeah, Mike
photo
does most
chopping.
of the-
Yeah.
Yeah, the photoshopping. That's a way to put it.
No, I use Microsoft Paint.
Yeah, you
3D.
do. Like a
Yes.
king. Yeah.
I'm not
Yeah,
giving
you
them
do.
any money. I'm not. You got to pay for Photoshop. I'm not giving them any money.
So that's really what Steven Tyler looks like. He's probably older than that now, isn't he?
I've
Like-
seen pictures of Steven Tyler where I legitimately thought it was an old woman. I legitimately thought it was like
He
an
wears a
old woman
wig.
that
I
helped
know
her.
He's
that's a
back
wig.
he's back in rehab too.
Really?
I almost said
Yeah,
he's
right.
back in improv,
Yeah.
which is kind of like rehab, but
Yeah.
Yeah, pretending to get better.
Madness.
Sure.
Yeah. And so,
Yeah. It's
what a madman! And there's some things out there. Why hasn't he been canceled already? You know,
Right.
Like,
He was on a show called American Idol, and he did all that stuff in the 70s with
Yeah.
the kids. Like,
it
what
was
the
There you go.
hell?
Exactly.
pre-cancellation. You didn't get canceled in the 70s. You got
Yeah,
rewarded.
but we do retroactively cancel people now, so why isn't no one
Have we
going after
canceled
him?
anybody from that far? I think we've had this discussion before.
What's
Have
his
we
name
canceled
from Led
anybody the
Zeppelin? You should get him. Ted Nugent. We got to get him too.
Get them all.
Any
the
rock,
fish.
Every rock star, just about every rock star.
Yep.
Like,
I
We
mean,
they were
did get Speaker of the House. What's his name?
Newt Gingrich?
Hastert?
No, not Newt Gingrich.
Dennis
Hastert.
Hastert. We did get him.
Yeah.
Finally.
Yeah, who
Hastert-
worked at fucking Mike's
Yes.
school.
Yeah.
Oh my
Well, I
God.
was. Dennis Hastert's from my hometown, and he was the wrestling coach at my high school in the 70s. Of course, I wasn't born yet, but my dad's sister also was a phys ed teacher at the school district, right? So they were friends. And when he was a congressman and I was 4 years old, he came to our Thanksgiving dinner at our house. And my dad, who was like a hardcore leftist, and he like pulls me aside and points at him and goes, "See that man, son? Never trust a man whose ass is wider than his shoulders." And I never, ever forgot that.
Fuck yeah. Fuck
we're
yeah.
learning
He was
life
right
lessons
about him.
here. All right.
Bravo, Dad Mike.
Yeah, he was right about him.
He used to, like, he had like a sex, like he sat, Hastert, not Mike's dad, sat
No.
in a chair in the locker room to look at the little boys. Like, he
Yeah.
had,
Well,
like,
they
a
were
sex
teenagers,
chair.
but yeah, still.
Close
But
enough.
he did,
And-
participate in a genocide too. Like he lied to the country about Iraq. He did all kinds
Yeah,
of
but
bad stuff.
that's like a so divorced. Like the
Millions
locker
of people
room thing.
died because of this dude.
I bet if you go back to the high school, they've taken his sex chair and they've dipped it in bronze, and people come by and they take pictures of it, like the Rocky statue in Philly.
I always wondered what that
The
was.
sex chair,
Yeah.
by the
The
way.
bronze
That's-
sex chair.
That could be your podcast name.
Yeah, bronze
sex
sex chair. I'm
chair.
down with that.
You know?
Bring it
The
on.
sex
Alright.
chair. I mean, we're still trying to get that sponsorship from Sibian.
Yeah, right. We've been trying for a
We're
while.
trying to get that Sibian sponsorship. Sibian and Dude Wipes.
Hey,
Call
yep.
us.
okay, so perfect segue. All right, I have a question, but I noticed that you guys have an episode on Marvel Swimsuit Special number 2.
Yeah.
Okay?
Yeah.
Oh, we do.
That was my idea. By
That-
the way,
That is a title I'm familiar with, by the way. I had the Marvel Swimsuit Specials. I studied them, right? I'm very
I think
familiar
Oh,
with
so
them.
did we.
Like,
No,
every boy like who's in their 30s now who read comics growing up had that or have
Right.
seen it and
Yeah.
they know about
Yeah.
it.
Absolutely.
people don't understand how hard it was before the internet. Like it was very hard. And to get
Ah.
those looks. Yeah, right. Yeah, right. Subtle things. No, yeah, it was, and I had a handful of like horny comics, and I hid them
Yeah.
amongst my real comics, as if anyone was going to go through my long boxes in my closet.
Yeah.
If you had a bunch of
14
Jim
years
Lee
old.
books, there'd be like very little difference.
It
This
was
is
out of
true.
control. And what's funny about it, I mentioned this in the episode, but oh my God, is it Chris Cooper? I think was a gay man who worked at Marvel, and after the first couple super horny female heavy swimsuit ones, did one that was mostly dudes. Like he was like, we're gonna do one with like Gambit's fucking,
We need
Gambit's
bulge.
pelvis.
Yeah.
And
Yeah,
they
how much
did
of a
it.
bulge did Gambit have? Man, I wish we were like recording our show because I would just ask James to look it up and we could just
Yeah,
see
so
how
that's the
big.
thing we do a lot of
Gambit-
Now-
look things up.
bulge
Chris
is.
Cooper was the Birdwatch guy in New York,
Yeah,
right?
Same guy, literally the same guy. Yeah, when
Literally
that
the same guy.
That
Yeah.
white woman, yeah, a couple of years ago, if everybody remembers the story in Central Park about this dude who was like accosted by this entitled Karen woman, this white woman in
I
the park.
do remember that. Yeah, there was
Yeah.
video.
Yeah, that was that
He-
guy.
he's a comic book
That's
writer.
him.
Wow.
That's
That
him.
was the same guy.
Weird.
Yeah.
That was the guy who got the I think it's the third Marvel swimsuit. He was the editor for that third one that was just full of bulge.
Was that the
And,
one where
like,
like Morbius is trying to suntan and he's just burning up?
I think we may have looked at. We didn't do that one, but I think we looked at all of them because the Marvel swimsuits. They would try to have like a story, like a loose story, and it was just a book of pinups, but they would try to have a loose story. And the one we did, the story of it was that Pip the Troll, like he won a poker game or something, and
I don't
so
remember.
again, yeah, he won some sort of power in a poker game, and so against everyone's will, he transported all these women to a secret island, dressed them up in bikinis, and took photos of them.
Yeah, it was
Solid
actually
That's the
premise.
wild.
story.
Yep.
That's the
Yeah.
premise of that book.
Yeah.
Wow.
90s was very different.
And it canceled.
Cancel Pip. Retroactively cancel
him.
Pip now.
They just put Patton Oswalt's voice in him. Do you see that in Eternals?
Right, cancel Patton Oswalt
Oh,
now.
yeah.
You gotta get him too.
As good as
Cancel them
canceled.
all.
So
Yeah,
like,
canceled by association.
when did like comics get so horny? Like it wasn't always like that, was it? I mean,
90s.
No, it was.
The
It
Wonder
just
Woman
wasn't
comics.
as overtly. Yeah, Wonder Woman purposely
Yeah.
was
Oh,
all
sure.
horny.
That was
That's
intentional.
true.
That was absolutely intentional. There was a comic. I think I mentioned this in the. I mentioned this in a recent episode we did. The Jungle Adventures. Yeah, we did a recent episode of a comic called Jungle Adventures that was reprinting a comic from a book called Slave Girl Comics from like the 50s.
nice.
Like these were real. Like, yeah, it wasn't all that horny, but it definitely got into overdrive. But yeah, there was always, I mean, they're repressed people. You know?
That's a great point. Yeah, like there were always like the off titles, the off-brand comics that would have that going.
Yeah.
on, right.
My
Like,
favorite.
Yeah, the Tijuana Bibles.
Yes, that's what they're called. All right. I just posted an image of a Batman, like a Michael Keaton Batman 89 Tijuana Bible on Twitter the other day. Like, and that's pretty screwed up. Like, they made one about the movie. Like, they were still making them up until that point.
Amazing.
Yeah, that's weird.
I love it. And so, yeah, I mean,
You know, there's so like Marvel used to license their characters to other countries, and there's a Mexican Spider-Man comic where like they gave Gwen Stacy like a fat ass, right? And like most of the stories were about like her being too sexy, I guess, and like Spider-Man had to deal with it. And that was like the majority of their comics.
And in the Japanese Spider-Man TV show, he was like a spider demon, and when he would show up, I can't remember what his catchphrase was. It was something like, "I have returned from hell to bring vengeance," or something like that.
Yeah,
like Spider-Man's from hell in the Japanese version.
that sounds like a bunch of things I'm interested in. I should check that
Yeah,
out.
check out precisely one episode of the old Spider-Man TV show, because after that, it's just repetitive.
Didn't he have like a Gundam too, like a Spider-Man Gundam, like in that show?
Yeah.
It was very Japanese.
Yeah, it was very.
You gotta throw a robot in there. It's Japan, you know.
It gets me watching. Yeah, I like a big robot. We've done comics on robots. We've done, what was it?
Oh yeah.
I can't
We've done
remember.
comics on everything.
Yep.
Yeah.
That's why the show's over. We've done all the comics.
Every time.
Every one of them. Yeah.
Every
We'd like
time
to
I think,
announce.
I think we'd like to announce our first interview. We're ending the show. No, I keep thinking we've done like every kind of like Nook, and then I'll turn over some disgusting rock, and it's like they made a fucking Alf comic. Great. I guess we're sticking around for a while.
We have
comic was great.
we finally lucked into not doing as many racist comics.
Oh, there we
Yeah, I
Because there
promise
was-
not to pick any more racist
Problem.
comics. Come on.
Because we
go.
kept
A long
accidentally
history of racist
stumbling into them.
comics. Yeah.
accidentally,
Yeah, a lot of
That's
racist.
why
Well,
it's
we
so
have one
usually-
episode that we debated not releasing about a character called Miss America because it
Yeah,
was
she was
so racist.
Yeah,
It was
she was
so incredibly racist.
I tell you what, though, she captured the spirit of America pretty well.
She did.
Kinda at the time, which
We
it was
advised
a little
people
too
not
real.
We advised people not to listen to the episode, yet we haven't taken it down.
Nope.
It's still there.
well, freedom of choice.
It'd be wrong. It'd be wrong
It
to
would be
censor.
wrong. Joe Rogan would be
I know
very
we
disappointed in us.
Yes.
We did not
Cancel
talk
bait,
about the
yeah.
comic in it. Yeah, we did not talk about the comic purposely. We did not do any advertisement with pictures. Like, we just really
Was that-
tried to stress
did
it
we
was fuck this.
Did we actually pick it, or was that a wheel thing where
You
we let God
picked it.
decide? I picked it
Because
okay.
it was 4th of July, so we were doing a patriotic thing, and you picked it and thought, yeah, rah America comic. I made the mistake of thinking
Okay.
Mike had done his research on this.
Nope. I don't.
And then,
I go through the list and I've tried, I think of a character or a theme that we haven't done yet. And I go through a list and I try to see which cover is the dumbest looking. And that's what I pick.
Yeah, it's fair. I can't blame you.
Come on. I'm not looking at it.
Hey, so
I mean, that's-
Zwion said, y'all seen the racist religious Archie spin-off comics?
That's
You know
going
what?
the wheel now. We're doing it.
Yeah,
on the
that
wheel.
I don't
I'm
know
gonna
what
find
that
it.
is.
Racist.
Sorry,
Look
Shay.
it
We're
up.
doing it.
Look it up.
It sounds like a chick
Racist.
track, and I am into it.
Yeah, that's like a
Religious
lot of words.
Archie?
Racist religious Archie spin-off.
Each
Spin-off.
one better than the last.
Yeah.
Yes.
Now that we do the random digital
God
comic book wheel,
Smuggler. I'm
Okay.
looking at the chat. Sorry.
Yep. God Smuggler.
I
All right.
I no longer can be blamed for when we pick problematic books because God chooses.
There you go.
Yes, we put them on a wheel, we spin the wheel, we play some wheel spinning music, and God decides. Not always,
Yes.
but a lot of times God will decide for us. So he's responsible for this.
Yep.
Hey, great feature for a Twitch stream. Just saying. Put the wheel.
Oh,
yeah,
spinning
yeah.
the wheel. Yeah.
Yeah.
We have a
Yeah,
YouTube, but we
Yeah.
haven't really done a whole lot with it besides
Well,
like
because
putting
it's a
up
lot of
images of the
work.
comic and stuff. Yeah, it's a lot of work.
It is.
James
it
and I
is.
have jobs. Shay has like an
Yeah.
actual job too. I don't
Yeah,
know
I
how
have,
she has
like-
time for anything.
I have like 5 careers, and Shay is a 9 to 5.
I barely work at all.
Yeah.
I
And we
go
don't ask you to.
downstairs and get on the computer, and somehow money arrives at my house. No.
Yeah, you don't
Yeah,
ask
that's what you do, James. That's like what you do.
It's
doing
not
that's
from
fun, yeah.
Twitch, by the way. The
You know
money
what?
is not from Twitch.
I was doing the same thing this morning, and I came home and took a 2-hour nap because I was exhausted from it.
Yes, it is exhausting.
They were
sometimes, honestly.
trusting me to
Honestly.
drive heavy machinery at a festival.
Oh boy.
Yeah, that's fucked up. That's
I
fucked
know,
up. I'm
it is
pushing
fucked up.
Bobcat. Yeah,
no
yeah.
license,
Yeah.
right?
Doing
Yeah,
that.
no. I've been
No,
on-
I am. I have
Okay.
all the certs. Even,
Oh, yeah?
though Illinois doesn't make you have it. Like, you don't have to have certs for shit.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah,
Today
you
I
don't like a
learned.
forklift license. You don't need one in the state of Illinois. You could just have a driver's license. It's good enough.
I bet it's not as satisfying for you as it would be to just flaunt the law, though.
Yes, you're
Just-
right.
It would be more satisfying if you
You're right.
didn't have certification.
You know me so well, bud.
Yeah. It's just the opposite of what I would do. I always just think like Mike would probably enjoy the opposite of this.
If it involves crime and flaunting in the face of the law, yes.
Yeah.
Again, more
why James is a
evidence
good
for the
boy
court
and
case. No, sorry.
Yeah.
James pays for his comics, and I don't.
I'm a good boy.
Hey, so I wanted to give a signal boost to this idea that you put out there on YouTube and in the podcast. This is a call to action for everyone who's paying attention and wants to get involved more. Let's check this out real quick. Yes.
Ooh. Send us your best fucked up AIs.
Oh yeah. Go ahead and do that, but have them be of risque and problematic images.
All right. Can we draw the line at racism?
Oh, I
Can we
mean,
draw
like
the line
I
at
want
don't
your
send us any racist
horniest
shit?
AI images. That's what I mean. I want subversive, horny AI images.
Go to Dolly
Just
and
dicks eating dicks.
Yeah,
I want
and
you to. This is what I want you guys to do. I want you to go to those like sites where they have the porn comics of superheroes. All right. I want you to take
Right.
those and AI warp them and then send them to me on Twitter.
I like that. I like that very much. Yeah, send
Mm-hmm.
it Darkseid's Couch on Twitter or Facebook or Instagram. Send it along. We want to see it.
Because I'll repost all that shit.
We'll
I
talk about
will.
it on the show.
I will do it. Yeah, and we'll talk about it.
We'll
This is your
fucking do it.
chance. This is your big chance.
Like I'm not. Do people think I'm kidding? I keep asking for this, and nobody
Yeah, we
does
don't get
it.
enough of it. No, we're serious. We will talk
Like, I
about
want-
it.
Send me erotic fan art. I want it. Send it to me.
This is not a bit.
No, I've been asking for how long now? Like
Yeah.
4 years?
Yeah, let's see. We've got a little bit. Somebody sent us those images of like male genitals if they were superheroes.
Oh yeah.
That was pretty good. But yeah, we need more. Stock's
Man,
low.
what the fuck? You look really good today too.
Yeah, I got a little pump in.
Mike, you look very
Yes.
nice too.
So,
Yep.
if anyone does want to send you erotic
Not
a Yes. bit.
AI fan
Yeah.
art,
Erotic. Any.
Yeah, just send us. Yeah, exactly.
where's the best
ahead.
place to find you and send it to you?
If you want to send it to me, you could send it to Darkseid's Couch on Twitter, and I
Okay.
will repost. Because Twitter has no like rules when it comes to like what I can repost. So if you want to send me something like really horny, I will repost it immediately.
Right.
Yes.
I just don't want to see anybody's bigoted shit. That's it.
Yeah,
Other than
I
that,
I mean, that's
I mean,
I
completely
don't know. I don't
fair.
want to
Yeah,
like.
yeah.
Yeah.
Let's see that. Come on,
horny,
man.
specifically
All for
horny.
horny. Send.
Yes.
You can send it to. You can
Like
put it. You can send it to me
so
on Facebook.
horny.
Yes.
Just anywhere you see Darkseid's Couch on the socials or whatever, you can send to us. We'll talk about it on the air.
Yeah,
we
on the
will.
air. I'm a
We'll put it on the
Big
YouTube.
man.
We'll do all kinds of
Yeah,
stuff.
like
On-
duck
on-
tits horny.
Yeah,
Yeah.
duck t- like yeah, the duck tits on
Yeah, that
Howard the
duck lady
That's-
having some titty sex. Yeah.
Yep,
That was a
that's-
horny
that's-
movie from the get-go. Wow.
It
Yeah,
really
right.
was.
If you want to send me like images of Howard and his human girlfriend doing stuff, that's great. I would love to have it.
I would have a
Just
real.
remember he uses a condom.
The best part was
That's
that they were in love. Like they were true like in love
Yeah,
and
they
it
were
was
really
romantic
enjoying
and
it.
nice and they were like
Yeah.
they worked really well together. I would now want to see them copulate
Yeah.
that.
They'd known each other for about 25 minutes, so yeah, they fell in
I
love.
was gonna say like
they
that
like-
happened right away. Yeah. Wow.
Do they
Dude.
like tie since it's corkscrew shape? Do they like tie him to a wheel and then
And you just
like
spin around?
and spin him? You know?
Yeah. Just so he really gets driven in deep, like a cork. Like
Yes,
a cork wine
exactly.
popper. Yeah.
So
yeah,
if y'all
yeah,
want to
yeah.
like draw that for me and send it to me at
Yeah.
Darkseid's Couch on Twitter, that would
Not
be
a bit.
fantastic.
That would
Oh,
be very-
it's the
I wanna
literal
be-
sit and spin.
Yeah. I want to be
Yes,
very,
thank you, Shay. That is exactly what I'm looking for.
very clear. This is not a bit. We
No, I
genuinely
want you to do
this.
it.
Like we will literally
Yes.
thank you. We will genuinely thank you
Thing
for
we.
Well, me.
it. Yeah, we got
What
rid of
else
it.
would
Unified
be?
front. Unified front, Shay. Unified front.
So Darkseid's Couch Twitter. There's the website, right? How do you spell it?
Yes.
For the people.
Yeah.
Darkseid.
DARK
It's a test.
Easy. That's the easy
S-
part. That's the easy part.
EID.
SEID. As in, let
S.
me see some ID. As I want to let me see
And then
some ID.
couch. Yes.
And then
Yeah.
couch.
.com.
You know, if we
right? You got
to
the
avoid
.com.
being sued, we should have just spelled it the Star Wars way, and then no one could sue us. We should have
Yeah.
did that, and then
Might
people
just
would have spelled it. They would have pronounced it right, and they would have known where to found it alive. We made this very difficult for people to find.
They would have expected Star Wars talk, and James hasn't seen them.
Because
Yeah,
even
Star
if
Wars
like
is
they
dumb.
tell their friends like, "Hey, I love this podcast called Darkseid's Couch," you go check them out. How the fuck are they gonna find it if they don't know how to spell it? And I don't trust anyone to tell them how to spell it. There's just a lot of work, like a lot of barriers we set
There are
up.
some hoops. Well,
James,
I'm bank. Yeah, am I gonna get shit for it?
you haven't seen Star Wars?
I have seen bits of it. I actually, just from being in the ecosystem
has.
of nerd culture, I know enough about it. But I will say, my theory that I've always had is that if you didn't see Star Wars as a kid, you can't get into it because all you're going to see are the flaws and the goofiness of it. Whereas a kid, you're captivated by it. And I never saw it as a kid because I was just watching like my father would just rent like direct to VHS. Like Van Damme movies
Solid.
and movies about like
Yes.
party sororities and things like that. That was what I grew up watching as a kid. So I never
James
saw
has
Star
a
Wars.
James has a fun blind spot in that he missed a lot of pop culture from like our childhood.
Yeah, I was too busy being traumatized.
Yeah, exactly. So he has that PTSD like memory block from essentially 22 for like
Yeah.
and back.
Yeah.
So there's a lot of moments where we will reference something and James will just it'll go completely over his head if it was before like 2003.
Yep, I don't know about Care Bears and all this shit. No idea.
He hasn't seen The Lion King.
Haven't
Oh
seen
wow,
The Lion King.
that's yeah. So
I haven't seen it since I saw it in theaters. To be so fair.
hot take. I don't care if it offends anyone. You're not missing much with the Star Wars one. Okay. You're missing.
Oh, wow. That is brave to say, man.
You're
You may be
missing
the
like
first person.
you're missing one
Go
good
ahead,
movie.
please.
One good movie.
Return. It
out of the
better be
bunch.
Return of the Jedi.
You
It's
like
gonna
the
be
Ewoks?
the one good
I
I
movie
know
know.
better
Return of the
be
Jedi
Return
has
of the
Ewoks. I know
Yeah,
Return of the
that's the
Jedi
best
has
one.
the Ewoks and it's garbage and it's trash, but I'm
No,
assuming you mean
that's the
Empire.
point.
I'm assuming you're referring to Empire.
Empire
No,
Strikes Back.
Empire sucks.
See?
Return of the Jedi
It's
is
the
the
only
best
good
one.
movie. Only good movie out of the
I-
bunch. Fight me about it.
Yeah.
No.
I think if I was a producer, if I was a movie producer in the 80s, I would have a real hard time with it because the line between just stupid, boring, garbage trash and like classic masterpiece that people are going to be talking about 50 years from now is so razor thin. Like the difference between Howard the Duck and Back to the Future, like they're right next to each other. They're butts to nuts right next to each other, and I would not be able to call which was going to be the winner and which was going to be the dud.
Yeah,
I
they
wouldn't be
came
able
out
to
right
do it.
at the same time. That's right. Yeah. Yeah.
80s is just
Yeah.
it's such a weird time where like so much weird shit would fly, like the rape scene in Revenge of the Nerds.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
I decided
hell?
not to stream that movie because of that scene.
Yeah,
I was
why?
gonna-
Because-
yeah.
Why?
Yeah, because the hero of the movie rapes a woman and she
Yeah.
falls
Yeah.
in love with him. She rapes him into love with him, and nobody had a problem with this. People made millions because of that.
The moon room scene, right? No, yeah.
Yeah, they're
Yeah.
like in a bouncy room or something.
Yeah.
Awful.
That's the
just
only
awful.
scene of that movie I've actually ever seen. It's just
You watch
tells
it
you
that.
every
something.
night.
That
Well,
tells
someone
you-
sent it to me and they were like, check out this fucked up movie from the 80s. And I'm like, all right. I've seen Revenge of the Nerds like 2 and 3 though.
Oh, you could follow
Oh.
the plot without having seen the first one?
I figured it
You
out.
weren't lost?
I
yeah?
deduced it.
Which is the one where they get stranded on an island? I remember that one. That was like
I don't.
What?
I don't know. Gilligan's Island. There's a bunch of nerds in that show.
they get stranded on an island, but luckily
Whoa.
marijuana grows wild there, so they're safe.
Wicked.
This is
I
a
wanna go
Revenge
to-
of the
I would-
Nerds movie?
Yeah.
Oh,
yeah.
how do I get to this island?
I'll have to
Wow,
figure
yeah,
out
I've never
which
seen
one
that
that
one.
was. Man, I've seen like what 4 of them. There's
Was it
4.
called? Was
They're
it called
the-
Revenge of the Nerds Marijuana Island?
Yes,
'Cause
that
then I'm
was the
like,
actual
alright.
title. No, like,
Is it?
it was the Survivor precursor. Actually, that's what
I'm
gave us the
kind
show
of-
Survivor. No, I don't know.
I'm
Believe it.
kind of interested in that because I don't know how a bunch of stereotypical 80s nerds interact with the electric lettuce there. I don't know how that works.
Or how are they going to build their own fire? They don't know how to do that.
Yeah, they
Using
can't
the
rub two sticks
glasses.
together.
So
There's like 16
guarantee
pairs
they
of
use the
thick glasses on there, I
guarantee they use the
guarantee.
glasses.
They're like
Yeah.
walking around with their giant IBM computer trying to plug it into nothing. My code.
So,
Dorks.
we talk movies here a lot. You guys are welcome to hang out, talk movies anytime.
Yeah.
I
Thank you.
Yeah.
Yeah, all
it was a
right.
slight oversight on my part. I only asked Mike for his favorite movie for today. I like to ask our interview subjects for their favorite movie. Let's play your favorite movie sometime, James. and Shay.
Yeah.
Let's do it.
Yeah.
And
Are you asking right? Yeah. Okay. This is
You
a
don't-
future thing. I have
yeah,
time to think about it.
You
Okay.
don't have to like. I know that's a lot of pressure. I seriously understand. Like, what's your
I mean, I can
favorite
give you
movie?
something.
Yeah, but so talk to Mike about this, and he mentioned a little movie called They Live. Is that right, Mike?
It's not my favorite movie. It's just a movie that I can. Well, it's the CIVIC TV like movie staple.
There you go.
And if I'm going to be on it, that movie's playing. And I want people to hate rich people as much as me. But then
That's a
that
solid
movie
choice.
really, and it's got Roddy Piper in it as the man. Like fuck yeah, dude. We're
Oh,
watching
yeah.
They Live.
And this is gonna make it the most streamed movie on Civic TV. This is
Yes.
this is official.
Bump it up.
They
Boost them
Live,
numbers. Yeah, for sure.
top number one. And James is
I was like,
oh, sorry, yeah,
I was like driving you nuts because I was like sending you like 1,000 movies.
that was
Like,
fun.
you, what? And you could do this one.
Engaged in the process.
Yeah.
And so
This is like my favorite Twitch show, so I was like super excited to be on it. And I was like,
Yeah,
let me
he
just-
talks about you a lot.
that's
like, This is
awesome.
like my
And
this is my favorite show.
I am honored, James and Shay, to have you on, being that you're not Twitchers. You're not the Twitch audience. So I feel like this is an accomplishment. I've pulled people
Yeah.
into the universe. So that's really
Shit.
awesome. And yeah,
Much appreciated.
I really enjoyed talking with you guys. We're gonna wrap it up here. Everyone, go listen to the podcast. Go check them out on
Yes.
social media, and go harass them wherever they are online.
Sure,
Yeah,
can
and
handle it.
send me sexy images, please.
You hear that,
All right,
everyone?
about your favorite comic book characters or not. You can throw some Joe Biden in there too. I don't care.
Hey, and
Yeah.
if,
we'll
if
love
there
it.
are ducks there, then so be it.
Even
all
better.
the better.
You know,
All the
maybe
better.
all of them should have ducks. Now that I think about it.
That was really the heyday of ducks. You had Darkwing Duck, and you had DuckTales, you had Daffy Duck, you had
Yep.
Donald Duck. You had all
Yep.
these ducks, and then they just fell out of favor. We decided to fuck those ducks.
And you know what? All of those are good too. I mean, there's good aspects to any of those like franchises, right? Darkwing Duck was a solid show. I like.
Yeah, that show was
Yeah.
sick. I love that
Ducks.
show.
Yeah,
Magic with
Yeah.
ducks.
man. All right, really great talking to you all. We're gonna
Yeah.
You too.
we're gonna switch the channel and watch They Live. So
Yeah.
except for that, yeah.
James has never seen it. He's never seen They
James,
Live.
you've never seen They Live.
He's never
Not
seen
seen
Star Wars. He's never
This
seen
is-
They Live. What are you doing?
Statistically speaking, what are the odds I've seen any given movie? There have been millions of movies.
Fair.
What are the odds?
Fair.
Nerd.
Fair.
I'm working on streaming them all. We'll get it done
We
someday.
can get through all of them.
Yeah.
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 Like us with comics, eventually we'll run out and we'll just have to stop.
Yep, there you
Mhm.
go. They can pry my
6
movie
more.
streams from my cold dead hands.
There you
Um,
go.
Perfect.
yeah, thanks again, everyone. And
Yeah,
I'll
thanks
be
for
talking to you.
having
Yeah,
Thank you.
All right, man.
Darkseid's couch, everyone. Let's
Bye.
go.
Thank you.
Bye.
Yeah.